YouTube, what the crap's going on? I am finally home and ready to make some Rome 2 footage. You all have a lot of questions for me, a lot of concerns, and a lot of stuff about Rome 2. And I figured what better way to have this discussion than riding on the top of one of my war elephants. I've only played a few multiplayer battles. This is just some footage from one. Nothing spectacular because of course I'm still learning how to play the game. Let's get started off talking about the game. As you all saw, I put the prologue campaign up. It was fun. It was a lot of fun to play. I enjoyed it. I would be lying to you if I said that this game didn't have some issues, because it does. And when I say has some issues, that's me being pretty polite, because I love Total War. I really do. And I really like the developers. As you all know, I got to meet them. And a lot of you asked me, Air, how in the world did you play this game before release and you didn't notice this? Because it takes a while to play a game to get to know it. But I'm not here to go into some long discussion about how we were all wronged or something else like that when it comes to what happened with the game. I am here to discuss, though, kind of the state of the game and what I think about it and what I hope for it to be. I'm absolutely certain at this point that the Creative Assembly is getting lots of feedback from fans and that they fully intend to make a whole bunch of patches. So let's start off with the graphical issues. So even for someone like me who is running this game quite easily, there are a lot of graphical issues. And I see it in the form of lag on certain places in the game, mostly on the campaign map when I'm scrolling around. So sometimes when I'm scrolling on the campaign map, I get a lot of lag. Some of you are saying that you can't play the game at all due to optimizing issues, and those are one of the things that if people are really frustrated, that is one of the groups that I could totally understand. You have a computer that can run it, or you even have a computer that can run it even better than mine, but it won't play at all for some reason. So that's definitely a glitch that is extremely angering, and I can totally understand. Now that being said, for those of us who the game is running, there's other things that make it tricky. Let's talk about these, I guess, in different categories. So I'll start off with the category of gameplay mechanics. So I like the gameplay mechanics for the most part. I like the unit movement speed, I like the maps, I like the terrain, I like all those things. As far as mechanics go, I love the way the units look. I love the different function layouts they have for them, such as heavy infantry, light infantry, spear infantry, sword infantry, melee cav, shock cav, missile cav, different types of skirmishers, different ranges for different skirmishers. I like all of it a lot. So, as you all can see, here's some Germanic horse coming out of hiding against my Carthaginian cav. So we'll see if my Carthaginian cav can live up to its fame. But in any case, yeah, so I like the way they've laid all that out, so that's the positives. I think the negatives are formations. When you're fighting, the formations can get pretty screwy. They turn into big blobs, and your men don't keep formation very well. I think that's a gameplay mechanic that could be addressed and improved, and that would definitely make the game better. Balancing, I think, is an issue, and I'm not a huge fan, actually, of the way they do armor in this game. I don't mind the way they do health. In fact, I kind of think that's neat, and it adds an interesting aspect to the game. And the same thing with the weapon damage and the armor-piercing weapon damage. I really like all that. I do. And look at these graphics, man. Is that beautiful or what? So there you go. There's some stunning views. And you all might be wondering what this overall battle looks like, and I know you all haven't going to see everything, but that's because this is just more of a discussion with some eye candy. But I will tell you that these Suebi up here are going to die, and it's not going to be pretty. You all may be wondering how I'm going to kill them, and that you will get to see. And I'm not showing this to like make fun of my opponent or anything. My opponent was a total good sport. I've brought a very powerful army here. We'll talk about different types of armies, and I'll actually show you this battle from the overhead again so that you can get a better view of it. In fact, let's go into the view of these men right here, as I think it will be particularly interesting from their view. So they kind of look like ghosts there because they're coming in and out of my field of vision. And just keep your eye on the woods there, folks. Should be something interesting coming out here soon. So in any case, I was talking about the gameplay mechanics. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I like. I love the line of sight. As you're seeing here, they're coming in and out of my sight depending on where I have line of sight. I think that's great. It's fantastic. It adds a really interesting dynamic to the game, a dynamic that I think makes the game very enjoyable. It makes multiplayer battles very strategic in some ways. So, and I was talking about balancing a second ago, sorry, I got sidetracked. There's a lot of heavy infantry in this game that is very powerful. And I think that there's a couple of problems with it. One, you can spam it, and two, it's relatively inexpensive for how powerful it is. Let's take Praetorian Guard, for example. Praetorian Guard are heavy melee infantry for Rome. They are extremely powerful. Huge armor, big attack, good weapon damage. Everything about them is good. Cavalry is worthless against them in a head-on type of charge, and it's not even all that great in a rear charge. You can basically take a whole bunch of Praetorians, they're immune to missiles, you charge in, and you just smash your opponents. And there's my little surprise for the Germanians. So if you thought these men were going to die by elephant trampling, then you guessed correctly. You can see that their troops are starting to skirmish with me over here. I'll zoom in on the elephants though and let you all get a good view of this. So I've basically, my opponent's cav died. Some of it died to these elephants. And you all might be saying, Heir, you have a lot of elephants. Yes, I do. The Carthaginians typically fought with elephants. Well, elephants are overpowered. They are pretty dang strong. But elephants do have a major weakness, and I'll discuss that at length in other videos. They aren't overpowered, in my opinion, especially not compared to something like Praetorian Guard. Praetorian Guard are insane. I brought these elephants, actually, just in case my opponent brought one of those spammy armies, so that I would be able to keep his army from completely wrecking mine. Oh, what's this? A cav charge from behind in the woods. Here comes all the elephants. These poor Swaby are just getting walked on. And those guys routed, so I lost the unit camera. I'll kind of show you the above view real quick. So I've got this Swaby completely surrounded. I've got my general too, so I do have 3 elephant units. It's overkill. I wouldn't normally bring this kind of thing, except I was totally expecting spam. My opponent did have a whole bunch of these sword masters, which is very good units in and of themselves, and these are the particular type of units that make me want to bring elephants, and it's because heavy infantry can be so dang powerful, so incredibly powerful. But if you all have played the game, you know that. And, you know, I'm not sitting here like saying, oh, spammers, they're so evil, stupid spammers, they jerks, they should die. No, nothing to that matter. I mean, if you're spamming, what you're doing is you know that the game has issues, and you're basically taking advantage of those issues. And to be quite honest, the people who invent spams, some of them do it to be annoying and just to win and to get their name on the leaderboard, and other people who do it, they do it because they're keen enough to, I'll load you all another replay here, they're keen enough to know that certain unit combinations are ridiculous, and they figure it out, and it's practical. It's annoying for those of us who play against them, but it's practical, and you can't really blame them for doing it. The only time it would make me mad is if someone's doing it just to get like up on the ladder and they're taking advantage of new players and blah blah blah. So in any case, that's the main reason why I wouldn't like it. I actually have the exact same army in this video too. It's an army I've been testing. Whether it's any good, again, I don't really know. But the idea of it was that if I was going to be facing up against spam, I would basically have javelin men to absorb any enemy missiles if they had any. If not, the javelin men would be used to harass heavy infantry and to make them follow me back into the African pikemen, who are right here. And the African pikemen from the front would be near impenetrable. And if my opponent didn't continue to follow me, I would continue to shower him with javelins, which can be quite deadly, especially when they're set to flame. And then, of course, if they tried to outflank me, that's where the Numidians over, or the Libyan swordsmen over here come in, and also, of course, my elephants, which are over there moving to the forest. So in any case, I was talking about balancing issues. I hope CA fixes the balancing issues. The simple solution, and honestly the thing I don't get, why did you release the game without unit caps on elite units? You had it in Empire, you had it in Napoleon, and you had it in Shogun 2, you had it in Fall of the Samurai. And even if you get on this game, elephants are capped, for instance. You can only bring so many units of elephants. Why didn't you cap Praetorian Guard? Why didn't you cap Sacred Band? Why didn't you cap Bronze Shields? Why didn't you cap all of these units? And I'm not trying to say this again to be a jerk. I'm trying to give constructive criticism here so that they can make the game better. And I'm certain they will. I have faith they will. But I am extremely disappointed at the way in which this game launched. Now, I would be completely lying to you if I said the game wasn't ridiculously fun. It is. The game is crazy fun. But it could have just been so much better. And I think that's the extreme frustration that a lot of us Total War veterans have whenever they make a launch like this. It always feels like the game is rushed out the door, and that launch is never quite what it should be. So I think that that's a frustration point for a lot of us. Here's some of my Carthaginian cav. It's melee cav. And to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed in the Carthaginian cavalry in this game. It's not near what I expected it to be. It's okay, but most factions have better cavalry than Carthage, which is kind of frustrating because Carthage was renowned for their cavalry. But of course the Romans have better cavalry, just like in Rome 1. It's a little bit frustrating. I'm not saying I want the game to be perfectly historical. It's a game. There's going to be some type of arcadeness to it, but I think a clear definition of a faction's power sometimes makes it interesting. Like for instance, Rome has everything. They have spears, they have heavy infantry, they have cav, they have archers. The only thing they don't have is missile cav, basically, at least not archer cav. They have Tarentine cav and some others. And I haven't studied the units in big length, and I could be completely wrong. And if I am, fine. Tell me in the comments. I'm not going to take any offense to it. I'm running away here actually because I'm getting chased by some equitage. You can see them in the trees. There's some cool views. I mean, and here's one thing I'll say. I have been harping on the game. The cinematic camera is amazing. It by no means makes up for some of the issues in the game, but it's amazing. Look at this. I mean, it's like a dang movie. It's awesome. So anyway, I ran away from the enemy cav and brought myself back to a position where my infantry and elephants could support me. And in this case, I am going to charge in, but with another unit. Let me pull out and I'll show you that. I'm also taking my my general in here. This will be fun to watch him. You can see me chasing off the enemy archers with my own peltast. Because my opponent's cavalry was busy, my peltasts are free to chase off his archers. So we'll catch this elephant charge here into the enemy cav units. Look at my guys throwing their javelins and stuff. Again, the beauty of the cinematic camera is unbelievable. Now if they could just fix the replays where they weren't corrupt, it would be awesome. You can see there's actually some archers firing at me too, so this is actually a little bit of a dangerous moment for my elephants. But his archers aren't exactly targeting me the way they should be. So the Roman cav and the Roman infantry here is going to get wailed on. I've got my Libyan swords supporting my elephants against this Roman cav. And the Roman cav really doesn't have much of a chance against my elephants. Cavalry's terrible versus elephants. I'm not the only one, too, who thinks they should have made an animation where the elephant actually picks up like infantrymen in its tusk and starts like eating them or something. That'd be pretty hilarious. So in any case, gameplay mechanics. Like I said, there's some balancing that needs to take place. I'm not going to go into huge depth about how that balancing should look because I don't know yet. I haven't played the game in great detail, but I can tell from other people's videos and from my little experience in online play that there definitely needs to be some balancing. And again, I'm sure it's in the works. If you all want to give your input and you've played the game, I'm sure you could get on a forum and let CA know what you think the balancing should be. I definitely think heavy infantry is a little too strong in this game, and I think that, and again, this is just a very brief overview in my case, I think that adjusting the armor in the game could make a big difference. I almost think some of the heavy infantry units are too armored, and it makes them so immune to missiles that it kind of nullifies bringing missiles. Now, can you beat a spam army? Yes, you can beat a spam army. I've seen people do it in videos. I haven't gotten to face a full-on spam army yet, and to be quite honest here, my opponent didn't do so well, and I'm not trying to say it to be mean. There's a lot of people who are new to the game. Again, I brought a very powerful army. Well, at least I think it's powerful. I don't know, again, it could be complete crap if I get against the wrong player, I don't know. But with that many units of elephants and his archers being chased off, my opponent is definitely in trouble. This game's not like Rome 1. His spears won't stand much of a chance against my elephants. They'll get trampled. Elephants do die very quickly in this game to missiles, peltasts, archers, and I'm sure that catapults and other stuff are good against them as well. So they do have their weaknesses. And the reason why I've been bringing elephants is so that if I do run into a spam, they're going to be in trouble. Usually in a spam, the people only bring like 1, maybe 2 horse units. Elephants will shred a horse unit, and I have a whole bunch of my own. And if my elephants live, they're going to start trampling his infantry. And then I have the pikes and the javelin men. I can harass and run with the javelin men. His heavy infantry can't catch them. I can wear them out, wear them down, and eventually win a fight, hopefully. Again, this is all theory, and I think it would work very well. I haven't gotten to test it yet. I'd like to, though. And again, I don't like bringing this many elephants because they are so powerful, but with people spamming everywhere, I'm out here having a good time trying to figure out what beats this stuff. In my opinion, there's always a strategy to undo what people do, and so I'm always looking for that just for fun. I am by no means a master of the game, and so sometimes I fail miserably. And I've lost a couple of battles out of the few that I've played. Certainly not starting off with a perfect record, which it doesn't matter anyway. You know, win or lose, I just like playing the game. I'm not in it for a competition thing. In fact, I kind of hate that they keep adding leaderboards, because that's generally what creates the spam, is the people wanting to get themselves up on the leaderboard. But in any case, not a big deal. Let's keep talking about the game. I've discussed balancing. Let's talk about the AI. The AI is better in some ways, but it's a lot worse overall. And you might be saying, Aaron, that's completely confusing. What do you mean? I've noticed some things that the AI is trying to do that I think means that it was programmed to try and be smarter. However, I think the end effect is that the AI ends up being worse because it tried to be too complicated. Hopefully that makes sense. Here's my pikes. I don't have them in pike formation because I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. Obviously I could have put them in pike formation and marched them forward, but I was just like, you know what? I just want to get these guys pinned up and I'll start hitting them with my cavalry and other units, so I'll be fine. And I'll kind of let you watch some of the sweet up-close combat between these African pikemen and these veteran legionnaires. The veteran legionnaires would win this fight if it continued. My guys are decent, but these veteran legionnaires are better in this type of fight. So what was I saying? I'll turn off the junk there so y'all can watch this good fight. AI, yeah, so we're talking about the AI. Like, for instance, when there's a flag on the battlefield, the AI knows that the flag is the quote-unquote easiest way to win the battle, and you can tell that that's what the AI has been programmed with. That's decent thinking on the part of CA, because it means the AI is going to run for that flag, it's going to make you defend it, it's going to make things tough. The problem is when there's like a wall between the AI and your flag, there's a good chance the AI is just going to walk up your wall and glitch out. I've had to fast forward through several battles. It doesn't happen every time, but it happens. And that's really frustrating. We have to sit there for 20 minutes fast forwarding through a battle. It's unnecessary and frustrating. Check out these guys about to get hit from behind. Boom! Oh my gosh, brutal. Oh, that was one of the mechanics I didn't cover, was cav charges. Cav charges typically aren't that good on this game. Like, heavy infantry is almost immune to them from the front, which I kind of think is garbage. Now, I don't think it should be, like, devastatingly effective to charge units from the front, or that's all it'd be, is a big cav spam. But I am a little bit disappointed in the way the charge mechanics work. You can see that these guys here, even though they just got hammered from behind, it was devastating, and they finally rout. But sometimes the effects aren't as big as you would think. And again, these are just armored legionnaires and triarii. These are not Praetorian Guard. Praetorian Guard sometimes do not break under this type of thing. And Praetorian Guard are just one of the many units that I'm talking about that's overpowered. Oathsworn, same type of idea, just with a different faction. So in any case, we've kind of started off the discussion here. I'll continue the discussion in some further footage. But again, I think some simple fixes that need to be made. Obviously, first and foremost, fix the graphics glitches so that everybody can play the game. Number two, fix some of the gameplay mechanics so that multiplayer battles are interesting. Number three, fix the AI. You got to fix it so that the campaign's more interesting. The campaign's definitely playable, but it's annoying. Sometimes, not all the time. Like I said, it's kind of hit and miss on what you get. And the graphics glitches in campaign can be kind of frustrating too. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing off for now. I know I don't have a results screen because it's just a replay. I know it's just a lot of close-up footage and you all want to see some strategy and stuff. I haven't had time to have like real strategic battles yet. So just don't worry, I'll bring it to you in time. I just wanted to give you all some nice Rome 2 eye candy here while I had that discussion. So anyway, HeirofCarthage signing off for now. That's my original thoughts on the game. The big question is, should I buy it? I think they're going to fix the game completely. I already think the game is good. Am I disappointed? Yes, I'm disappointed in the way it launched. Do I think Rome 2 is a bad game? Absolutely not. The game's amazing. It's fun. It should be a whole lot better, though. It should be a whole lot better. I think they will make it better. They've patched other games and they had a rough launch. I do believe this was probably the roughest launch that they've had that I've seen. And I've seen the launches ever since Empire. It's pretty rough, but I do believe they'll stand by it. I believe they'll fix it. I don't know why it happened, and that's not what I'm here to discuss. Overall, I think the game will be worth it. However, if you're worried about bugs, of course, you know you can always wait to buy the game. But if you buy the game now and you're a Total War fan, I don't think you're going to be highly disappointed. Now, and some of you might be saying, well, it won't even run on my computer. You better believe I'm disappointed. I understand your case. That's different. I'm talking about people who can run the game. If you can't even run the game, even though you have a computer that should run it, I can understand your frustration, and again, hopefully they fix that quickly. But otherwise, if the game's going to run, I think you'll enjoy it. There's a lot of fun factions. There's a lot of fun stuff there. That's my quick overview. Hope you enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.